All right, so in this podcast episode, we have Briea, who is one of our tutors here. And we're just going to kind of take a bit of a dive into, and it's really just to give you guys a bit of a feel of what opportunities you've got out there and how you can take advantage of them. So I feel like one of the things that why we get loads of people who are undergrads doing the sports massage quals is that to see the earn while you learn type thing, and it helps to complement their existing learning that they're doing on the degrees. They see it as an extra string to the bow. What's interesting now is like what you're seeing back in your day, right? Doing it, and you already had a sports massage qual, and you're doing stuff that might have been the rarity. These days, it's the other way around. Like we train, certainly most physio degrees, we train most physio degrees in sports massage. So now it's kind of like saying, well, why don't you have it?
Yeah,
is another thing. And I found that since what it's giving people is a lot more hands-on experience or a lot more hands-on skills that perhaps they're not getting on the degrees. And you know, this is definitely not a place today to discuss why programs don't have as much hands-on stuff. There's lots of reasons. We'll be talking forever on that one. But I think what students really value is the hands-on skills. And then what private practice in particular value is that people have got some hands-on experience.
Yeah, what can you do? Are you just going to stand there and watch me? Or if the client's going to have you in the room, can you add any value to their appointment as well? Have they got 4 hands on them? You do that calf. So they're getting more massage in that appointment than they would have got with just me. So yeah, by all means, they're happy to have a student in with them. Because otherwise they think, why would I just want another pair of eyes watching?
Yeah. I mean, at the minute, there's a lot of students, or should I say now new graduates, struggling for jobs. And it sounds like it was a different time for you when you kind of got a few job offers. But if you think back to what you did and what maybe put you ahead of perhaps other people, other than having an unusual name, what do you think you... Looking back, right, that was probably what helped me go into pole position for a job.
I think I was just excited about learning. I was just excited about meeting people and just, the energy I gave off. It wasn't like another clinic to go to, or although it wasn't my favourite time being out on a football pitch in the pouring rain, I still got excited about putting these football boots on I didn't know how to wear and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
You know, kicking a ball to help them with the rehab. Never went straight. Probably wasn't the best rehab idea to send me out with a football.
Okay.
But late stage rehab, stuff like that, like amazing experience. It's exciting to learn this new. So the passion, skill.
That's what you think that was really maybe help you study up. Yeah. But then I'm thinking is that other stuff about, you saying about networking from whilst you were a student, getting that network up, making yourself look interested to the right kind of people.
Yeah, and presentable as well. You know, I think it's more relaxed now, but I always had collared shirt on, t-shirt, sportswear still, but not like super tight leggings, things like that. I'd be loose sort of jogger pants, but in the right attire for the either clinic practice or football team, for example.
And it's about that kind of thing of like, somebody's more likely to give you a recommendation if you've showed the willingness and if you've shown that stuff. So it might not be about you applying for the job per se. It might be that your link to a lecturer or your link to somebody else will say, do you know what it is? I can't help you here, but I've got a recommendation.
Yes. So, you think, why would I put my neck on the line for someone I believe in? Because your name's going to follow that person.
Yep.
But it's you think it's such a big world, but it's not, especially on LinkedIn when you realise how many connections you've got. So one bad placement that you've done where you've not bothered to turn up or your attitude stunk or anything like that, bad words travel fast in the industry. Although it might not be for you, like the football wasn't for me, I was still interested and keen and respectfully, declined that offer and said what my reasons why I don't really like the sport, although I've been very keen to learn about it. It just travels fast, so.
Yeah. All right. So for those people who are like completely not in this world, right? So they've already got a job, I don't know, desk-based job, there could be outdoors-based job, but they know it's not for them. They're thinking about a world in sport of some way, shape or form. So they've got a passion, they enjoy, maybe they do their own sport or activity, and they're thinking about, this might be something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
what do you think they're getting themselves into? So if we don't think about clubs, let's think about setting themselves up for their own clinic.
Okay.
What do you think, what's the benefits of it? Like what's going to be the good things?
Yeah, I think it's the freedom, especially being self-employed. Like when I started as a student at college, when I was building up after that, before uni, I just paid per client rent. So it wasn't I had a big overhead or anything. So if the client didn't turn up or I didn't have any clients booked in, I didn't lose any money. So it's a win-win, really.
Yeah.
They take a percentage, I think it was like 20%, something like that.
Okay.
So of what you charge. So obviously if you start, as your years go on, you get better, you put your prices up, it's still only a percentage of what you charge.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't there on holiday, I wasn't losing anything. Yes, I might not be working, but
Yeah.
I'm not doubly losing for overhead of rent monthly.
Yeah.
So I think get trained up, get hands-on skills. Sports massage is an easy one. You're level 3. Anybody can do it. Change a job, change a career.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop your job straight away. Do friends and family. Where I see people go wrong though is, well, not wrong, but they open themselves up too much. They say, oh, I'm free evenings and weekends, just message me. And they open themselves up to every time of the day. You've got to do like little white lies, and I apologise to all the patients previously that I've said I've been, when I was younger, I say I was fuller than I was. But you've got to restrict them time. So say that I'm doing Tuesday evenings, for example, and say between 6 and 9, for example, whatever. It's popular evenings and weekends, unfortunately. And then once that gets full, oh, I've opened up, I've got this time slot, or somebody's cancelled at this time. You might never had a client in at that time. And then add from there, I could see you anytime between 12-hour time frame, and then you've got one at 9, one at 6, and then you're just lingering around unpaid.
You end up then losing the reason why you set your own practice up, which is kind of like that autonomy, the freedom to do stuff. And I get it, and I think loads of people do this when they first start their own business. They kind of don't want to say no to anybody.
Yeah.
But it very quick, because I think with sports massage in particular, you can get clients really quickly and really easily, right? So you get clients really quickly, really easily. So you're going to build up your client list super quick. And if you don't put those boundaries into place early on, you're seeing that all of a sudden you're doing these silly shifts where like a split shift, you're doing like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and then not see your next person until 6, 7 o'clock at night.
And you're your own receptionist, administrator, clinician. So the text messages coming through to book in for another appointment Saturday night, Sunday. And it's not that they intend to do that. It's when they are not in work mode and they're thinking about, oh, I need to message Briea to book an appointment in. And it's just having that either that do not disturb on them time periods, or putting a notice out like I'll reply back on Monday, next working day, or have a work phone separate or number separate, that you know, because that time off is important as well, because sometimes it can get a lot otherwise. So
big pros are like, right, you're your own boss, and you can make your diary fit your life, rather than you have to fit around your work life.
Backwards. And I know you're keen and you want to help everyone and offer wherever it suits them, but if you do it once, they'll expect that you can do it.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of people who, I know when we spoke to Claire and we spoke to other people, they've said, well, what they were able to do was kind of set it up around school times.
Yeah.
So they were able to work, so they could be there to take kids to school, pick them up from school, and kind of have their clients in and around those things, and then maybe work an evening or a weekend.
Around uni. I knew that we went in on, I think it was like a Wednesday, so I had a clinic day on a Wednesday, and then the other ones were jotted around like an evening here.
Yeah.
I think I did Saturday as well. And then when I went full time at the clinic, I didn't want to work a Saturday, and I realised the Saturday clients were only coming because they didn't think you did evenings, because they want time with their families as well at the weekend. So I thought, right, I'd rather work, I think I did 2 late evenings till 9 o'clock on a Tuesday and Wednesday I found. And it's just trial and error which days you find busier in your area. It might be when the kids don't have as much on, parents aren't taking them to their sports. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays I always worked till 9 because they were the busiest. So then I had my weekends off.
And then setting yourself up, sounds like you were busy. Right, so you had plenty of income, I guess, because that's one of the people's concerns, right? Isn't it? Like they're leaving a career, they're leaving a job. What happens if it doesn't go well? I mean, the sports massage stuff, we are inundated with people training it, right?
And even if there's quite a few in your area, you'll all be busy. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're competition. If anything, it's bringing more attention to that there are sports masseuses around, and it's going to help each other out. Or you might get a network of you that. I've got a guy who a physio does injections, so I send them to him for another opinion if I think they might need an injection, for example. He sends them back to me because he didn't want to do massage, for example. And it's not being us against them or against the same profession or different professions. It's actually working together.
Collaboratively, right?
Your clients respect you more because you're not like, I know everything, only come to me. It's like, I want what's best for you. And that might not be the treatment that I offer.
Yep.
And then for the next injury that they have, they go, oh, Briea was sound. She'll tell me if it's not the right treatment for, or she'll recommend someone else that I may need to see.
And then the other benefit I would say is that something like sports massage opens you up to doing lots of other things. So because of the qualifications, how they're set up, you can do things like exercise prescription type stuff. You can do like your needling stuff, like acupuncture and dry needling.
Yes.
Often people will do that and then say get a real taste for it, a bit like what happened with you, and go, right, I'm going to actually go on and do a degree, and I'm going to be a sports rehab or a sports therapist, a physiotherapist. So I think one of the things I would say for anybody that's thinking about getting into the world of sport, I think sports massage is a lovely one because you can set up a mobile clinic. You don't necessarily have any overhead, so the risk is really low. You're probably going to very easily find clients to be able to do it. And then if you really like it, you've got scope to really branch out and go beyond just doing the sports massage. I mean, for some people that's enough, right? But for others, they've got that thirst for learning and they want to do more. And there's so much more things you can do, right?
I think I waited 2 years from qualifying to then do my acupuncture with you.
Yeah.
Come a long way. And I think a lot of people now are setting up ones at home, and then it's weighing up, do you want to do at home clinics? Because I think from COVID, people are setting up things at home like this. I think one of them on the courses today was saying that she'd moved house and it was a beauty therapist that had lived there before, so it was already set up. Bed area with sink and everything for her. So she was like, I bought the house based off it had a self-sufficient clinic room in it. So it's mobile. Is it from your house, or are you looking elsewhere for a room to rent? And I would say go off the percentage one first, instead of diving into it, going, I'm going to pay for all the bills, electric, gas for this building, or for a full room, full month. I would either box up your stuff and take it with you so someone else can use the room when you're not in, so it's not just your room for the price you're paying, or per hour you go.
So so if we're going to put this in a nice little box here, we're talking about so let's say, right, I know I want to do this. What are the things that you've learned from your experience of setting up? It's first of all having some set times of the week that you will work and won't work, so that you're not just working every single potential hour.
Yes.
You briefly mentioned about making sure you've got a separate mobile number, WhatsApp number or whatever, to your personal mobile. And I think almost everybody makes this mistake, going, oh, do you know what? They'll be fine. This seems like they'll be a canny person, and then it's like the 10:30 at night text message, which you can't switch off from.
Yeah, even just the buzz, I'd be wanting to look. Yeah, and then as soon as you open it, you'll forget to reply to that person. Or I've done it walking around Aldi. I remember taking a phone call and I was like, I'll book you in, and then continue pushing my trolley. And at that time I had an online booking one as well. And someone had booked in the slot. I never ever booked that patient in that I was on the phone with. So I was always like, don't ever book anyone unless you sat there with your diary in front of you, where you could physically do it. Whereas I was like, I'll book you in, thinking after the checkout I'll do it. Double booked. So different.
So getting that business number, so then you can have, business is done, put my phone down. You don't have your personal number as well, which, could be some kind of like things around safety and what have you anyway. And then you're talking about your clinic. So you were saying what maybe is a good place to start at is going into an existing clinic and seeing if you could rent a room for either like a flat rate or for like a percentage of your earnings.
Yeah, there's a lot of hairdressers ones now, even like the beauty side, they'll have a spare room off to the side that's got a bed in it, a sink in it, and just make the hours work for you with that.
Yeah, and that's a good way to, I guess, make your mistakes, because you don't have the overheads. You can figure out what times of the day work. Yeah. You start building up a client list, so then you can afford something with a bit more overhead. So that might be about converting your own place.
Yeah.
It might be about, going renting a space yourself, but at least that you're not doing it and hoping that the money comes in. You've got a client base already. You know what works, what doesn't work. You've got a booking system that isn't when you're walking around Aldi and stuff.
These things come though. Like I didn't have a logo for about 5 years because I couldn't decide what I wanted.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't have to. I get the whole business plan to succeed, things like that. So you got to have a little bit of a plan, but also you don't have to pay out all these overheads straight away. Like uniform, I was just like, oh, Navy will do. I still have that to this day. Like, I always bought better things as we went along, but a foldable bed to start with, and then I eventually bought a hydraulic bed.
Right.
Then, your logo comes, a card machine might eventually come if you earn enough.
Yeah.
And then booking system, I was paper diary first, and then I went to a free online booking one.
Yeah.
And then I went on to one I pay for that's note taking as well. So I went fully electronic.
Yeah.
So you don't have to jump into the high end
No.
stuff, because you've got to start earning money. It's you
Yeah.
know, if you want to venture out from the job that you're doing now, then it can't be more expenses than income.
And I definitely second that in terms of I think some people get really bothered about the logo.
Yeah, but they don't
and the
start
branding.
though. That's the issue.
People
just jump in.
Yeah, just get started. That's the biggest barrier to you being successful, is not getting started
before they start.
Yeah, definitely not.
Nothing was definitely perfect with mine. I mean,
But people buy into you. They don't buy into the brand. They buy into you, and particularly, when if you ever become to be a multi-site clinic and what have you, maybe then it's more about the brand than the individual.
Yeah.
But even then, daft things like when you look at Instagram and stuff, the followers the CEO has versus the following of the company, it's always loads more for the CEO, because they want to be with the person, right? So I guess what we're not saying is branding's not important, but branding is definitely not one of your priorities.
I still don't like my name. I just did BD injury rehab, like my initials. I still was a bit I don't know where to go with that.
Yeah.
But it's it was me, and it was only me, a one working woman. It's not, it's what you do with your client, as in your hands-on treatment. It's not, but they've got a fancy room and a fancy name.
Nah, people aren't bothered about it. I mean, it doesn't want to be an absolute cesspit.
No, it needs to be clean. OCD clean.
Yeah. Maybe it's not Briea level clean, right? But it does have to be clean. Yeah.
And some of them at the clinic will know this, who have shared a room with me, you have got on my nerves.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm second that. So it's about obviously knowing what you want to do. It's knowing about your time. It's knowing about getting a business mobile number, which will cost you pennies.
Yeah.
Renting a space. So you could look at hairdressers. You could look at existing physio, sports, rehab clinics, because they might not be open all day every day. So
gyms,
you can have a spot.
There was
Gym, gyms, of course.
You do get a few sweaty people that go and work out before they have a massage. What's that about?
Yeah.
But it's if you're okay with that. I looked at, because I did mobile for a bit.
Yeah.
My bed was a lot heavier than they are these days, the mobile ones. I think they were the old beauty ones that you could get. Oh, yeah, chucking that in and out. I used to get the patient sometimes to help me, thinking I'm not injuring them more. But then it's the time restraint of, it's not just they've got an hour slot, it's your time to get there, set up, end up offering you a brew, biscuits, any food. I'm there for ages. And then it's the whole chit chat. Oh, my neighbour's been up to this, and you're like, got another client on the way to get to. And it's looking at your radius that you might want to work within, or say on a Tuesday I'm going to be in this area and fill them clients up in that area, and then move on to another area. Or when people do it from home, I didn't, because I don't think I could feel like I could switch off, because they knew you were at home. Why can't you do a 9 o'clock appointment, 10 o'clock appointment? You don't have to travel home now.
Yeah.
Whereas that was my get out of jail card. It's I need to clean the clinic, lock up, and travel home and eat and sleep.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah.
And I think picking on the community stuff up is community rehab is definitely an option. I don't think you should be selecting that purely based on thinking, well, I have zero overheads, because like you say about the time.
Petrol.
The petrol and stuff, but it's also that travel, which you don't factor in. When you're getting to somebody's house, it's never a clinical environment, and you've got pets to kind of negotiate.
Oh,
you've
kids, yeah, I've stood on Lego plenty of times.
Yeah.
That hurts.
So you've got all of those other factors. So it's not to say don't do it, but you've got to factor that into your pricing. You've got to factor that into how long your day is going to be. And you're just not going to be able to see as many people, right? No. Just doing it that way. If you're the one that's traveling everywhere, I wouldn't advise that. If it's solely based on I can save a little bit more money, I think in the grand scheme of things, you're losing money.
And the room that the client might choose might not be ideal. They're not fully relaxed either, because there's kids around, they're trying to get to bed or whatever, and then they can have a massage, or they can hear them fighting upstairs, or dogs barking,
phones going off,
dogs walking through my legs, or licking their face, or the oil off the skin. They love something about the oil. They're like, I know, and you're like, oh, what is going on here? So yes, I think that's where my OCD came from.
Right.
Self-diagnosed.
Right. So, yeah. Okay. So So community is an option, but it was a no for Briea. Anything else then that you found that you'd say, like, if somebody was saying, right, I'm ready to go, I'm setting up, anything else that you found, like, I guess, like some helpful hints and tips?
Yeah. I think you never know everything and don't expect to. Like, I think it's just being keen to learn and also just being open with the client that, I've just got my qualification, maybe offer an introductory offer, but have a time limit on it, either the first appointment they have with you or for this month, something like that. So it's not just continuous. You feel awkward to put your prices up.
Yeah.
Another good time to put price up was like April time, because you could review it with your tax return and say like, expenses, consumables have gone up, things like that.
Yeah.
And I think no more than once a year, I think it's, everyone's having hard times. So it's like, it's gone up again. And not big jumps, maybe not more than a 5 or something. I've seen places that are like 10 a time. And
Yeah, pricing's a tough one. Like pricing's it's very much about where you are.
Area, yeah.
And I think there's a kind of like knowing what you're worth and not underselling yourself. The scenario of being the cheapest around. Being the cheapest, you will get clients for being the cheapest, but the people who are looking for the cheapest are not always your ideal client.
Exactly.
And, you hear this a lot, and a lot of business coaches who are in this sector, they kind of say, like, you don't actually want to be the cheapest, but because sometimes those end up being the hardest people to deal with.
Yeah.
Being the cheapest is often attracting people who are looking for as much as they possibly can.
Yeah,
So
squeeze out the appointment time as well. You can't get rid of them.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So I think your pricing, it seems to be a safe place to be a bit like middle ground, not the most expensive, not the cheapest.
And that's just doing your research. And I said,
dead easy, right? Isn't it? Whack it on Google, whack it in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Give us the 5 prices.
What would you recommend for me? Just qualified in my massage qualification.
Yeah.
For this area, what's that offer?
So the other thing I would say as well, which I think is a temptation, is for people to say, I'll do it for free. And I think doing it for free is... So there are scenarios where doing it for free works, like events. So like the Great North Run, for example. So you can team up with a charity.
Give out your business card. Well, I don't think people do business cards anymore.
People do still do business cards.
It's all like the QR codes.
Yeah, you do.
Same thing.
Business cards.
Give out your name. If they like the massage, they might take your details in the area. If it's one in the area, it's getting you that hands-on skills. Or just ask them to cover like petrol, something like that. Just get a deal set up. Or just this one time for me to showcase my skills, for you to get a better feel for me, see if this connection, this could work, as in like this team that you might want to go into, something like that. Go to the training. Offer the massages.
What you're doing is you're saying that there's a definitive cut-off point.
It's not every Tuesday and Thursday training. I'm going to be there for free.
And I get the temptation, because right at the top we were talking about, you got to show willingness and what have you. But I think when it comes to the point you've got this qualification in place, don't be tempted to give everything for free because you need experience. Do it like as a time limited thing. So I think like an event is a really good example of that. Like a Great North Run, when you're getting loads and loads of people through. Charities are wanting sports massage therapists, so great. They'll give you some kind of remuneration package in there, but that's just giving you that exposure so you feel happy with your skills. You can give your business cards out if people say, hey, you know what, if you're interested. And that's fine, that's all acceptable. But certainly don't be setting your clinic up and going around people's houses and stuff and doing this for free. You might have an introductory rate, like you said, but have a time limit on it, so you know yourself that you're not just going to keep on doing this indefinitely.
I think it's just keep reassessing, what am I getting out of this? Is it knowledge? Is it hands-on experience? Or is it food? What can they offer? So just keep reassessing that, and it does this, and not being afraid to say it's not working anymore. Thank you so much for the experience, my time with the club, something like that. I'm now branching off a different way, or it's being okay that's served its purpose. Yeah,
and as well, actually, if you're thinking about the club scenario, kind of come full circle here, but if you're thinking about that club scenario, there's no club that's going to say no to something free. It's fine to offer your services, but also at that initial appointment or, that chat, saying, if this works out for both of us, what is the package?
Yeah.
What does that package look like?
Get yourself into, or know what you can get from it.
Yeah.
Before you offer
Yeah.
free. Yeah.
And there'll always be the scenario of like claiming poverty. So there'll always be, well, the club doesn't have a lot of money, doesn't have a lot of resources and what have you. You'll always get that. No matter where you go, you'll always get that. If they need you and they want you, they will pay for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, you do a bit of research on what the hourly rate would be, because the club scenario is not like what you do freelance, doing your own stuff. Because if you've got your own clinic, you can charge like 60 quid an hour. For sports massage, but whereas in a club scenario, you're going to get a lot less than that. It's going to be an hourly rate, but you think it's going to be guaranteed hours, bit of the exposure to
more clients in one day and with the whole team. But as well, off that, I would say if you've had like a negative experience in sport, like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like that might just be that one team you've not just got along with, the energy you don't get along with. I'd try another. If you want to go into football, for example, go try another team. You know, it might not fit both of you. It's got to be the right fit for both.
Thank you, Briea. All right. Well, that is the end of our podcast episode. Briea has very kindly given her time to talk through her experiences. As always, guys, please like, comment, share. And I know it kind of is a bit of a cliche. You hear this on the end of load and load of podcasts, but it makes a massive difference. When we're on courses and we're talking to people, we'll bring up the podcast. Oh, yeah, I've been listening to your podcast and all that. Like, we want the feedback, all right? So please, I know it feels like, does it just get lost? It absolutely doesn't. It helps us know if we're doing the right thing. So if this is the kind of thing that is helpful, it's been an enjoyable listen, or you've actually been able to action it, we want to hear from you. But even if not, and you're like, actually, I don't want to be putting any comments in, just whack a like on there. Lush. All right. See you in the next episode.
Bye.